Well, good day everyone, and welcome back out to the Bush Block Homestead. I thought I'd do a bit of an update. We'll do an update today on our washing machine. As you can see, here's our previous washing machines that we've been using. You can hear in the background the generator running. Well, that's to run the new washing machine. As we don't have power set up yet, we have to run the generator. So let's have a look at our new washing machine, which is a bit more advanced than these ones here. Well, here we are in the bathroom, and as you can see, we've got our washing machine installed and all up and running. We ended up getting a front loader. We've always had top loader washing machines, but because front loaders use approximately half the amount of water as a top loader per wash, so we ended up getting a front loading washing machine which has good water and energy efficiency. We're just doing a load of washing as we speak. As you can see, I've run the plumbing up through the floor there. So our water line coming in, I've got copper pipe. We've got a ball valve here that controls the water, that's just on and off for your water, and this is your plastic line to the washing machine. It's just filling up now. Our water system comes from the watershed, which is 12 volt. So you hear it filling up with a little bit of water there. Our drain is just a 50mm PVC waste pipe going down through the floor, and underneath the floor is a trap, and we'll have a look at that shortly. I went with 50mm instead of 40, as a lot of these new washing machines have a bit of pressure and I didn't want any chance of water backflowing up the PVC and into the house. So I went with 50mm. As you can see, the cat approves of the washing machine as well. We'll have a quick look underneath here. This is directly under the washing machine. You can see the trap that goes up through the floor, and that poly line there is the water line that runs from the pump shed. You can see the 50mm waste running down to a T, and that is capped there. That cap section, it's only pushed on. That is where the kitchen will enter from the other side of the containers once the deck is complete, and that'll be for the kitchen waste to run in. I'll try and see if we can see any more. It's a bit dark. You can see that poly elbow hanging down. You can see that elbow hanging down, the brass elbow. I haven't clipped that right up there yet because that will be replaced with a T-piece once I plumb the shower and vanity in, once I get to that stage. You can see our waste goes there. I'll try and get a better view around the other side. Got the water inlet coming in from the pump shed there and into the pipeline. And I've used these, well, it's called PEX pipe and fittings, and they're reusable, so I can just pull those fittings off and replace that with a T later on, or cut other fittings in once I do the shower and vanity. So I'll go around the other side and see if we can have a better look. Just at the back of the pump shed, you can see the water line come in there. I've still got to install the hot water system and all that yet, so that setup is just temporary, just to get the washing machine up and running. Our waste pipe is coming in from underneath, as you can see there. We've got a T'd section here, and that goes straight up, which is a vent pipe, and goes through the roof. You can see the vent pipe there coming out through the roof. It's just on the Greywater system, and that'll help any air locks as well as get rid of any smells. So you can see we've teed down, we've run underneath the pump shed. And it goes under the ground over to here. Well, there's another washing machine we use for our caravan. But here is we've got a 1,000 litre pod tank for IBC buried in the ground. And we'll lift up this lid here. There's our 50mm waste, and that's where our Greywater comes in. I've also installed a sump pump which goes to poly pipe, and that is actually hooked up to 100 metres of poly pipe which pumps all the way up to the front swale of the yard. So we recycle our Greywater from this tank, and it gets used in the swale at the front at the moment. That's a 12 volt pump. What's it say? 3,700 gallons per hour. I've reduced the outlet from 40mm to 25mm because I don't really need the flow, I just needed the pressure and lift to push it at 100 meters, and it does so with no problems. I've made another upgrade into the pump shed to control that pump. We'll have a look. Later on I'll probably put a float switch on that pump as well. At the moment it's just manual. You switch it on then off, so you've just got to keep an eye on it, so once the tank is drained you got to turn it off. But later on I'll probably install a float switch on that pump so it will automatically turn off. Here we are in the pump shed. So at the moment the washing machine is connected to this one here, which goes through the 20 micron filter, and the pressure for the washing machine is controlled by this pump and supplied by the pressure tank as well. And it is currently on, and you can see our battery voltage there. I've got a charger charging the battery at the moment, seeing as it's a cloudy day and the generator's running. I thought I might as well charge the battery at the same time. So here's the upgrade we've installed in the pump shed. It's just we've got a fuse panel here. Pull that off. We can put up to 6 circuits. I've just got one at the moment. This is the switch for the bilge pump in the IBC tank underground. This is just a spare switch I've installed, and it's not actually connected to anything. So for future upgrades I can install 3 switches per side. You can see we've got 6 positions on the DC, the positive side there, and this top section here is the negative bus bar, and the bottom here is for your positives. And these are a couple of holders for spare fuses. I'm running a 20 amp fuse there for the pump in the IBC tank, which seems to be working well. And all I've used for the case, I didn't have a spare case. That is actually a box that screws came in from the hardware store, and I've just installed that to that, and that's strong enough and come up alright. Sometimes you've got to use what you have, and that's come up alright there, does the job. So this is all powered from the solar charging station. Eventually this will have its own independent battery and solar controller and solar panel system. It'll be independent of the main house supply. So our water and our Greywater tank will be operated off 12 volt.